with our host, Kelly Springer. Kelly, how are you? And I
Great.
get to talk to you with updates. And it's always fun to hear the updates that's going on with Kelly's Choice, especially as we're getting close to Q2. What's happening?
A lot. You can see me dressed in all pink today. I just did a live TV spot for Fox Atlanta on how to spring clean your pantry. It was actually a great spot. And this is one of the presentations that we're doing for work sites. It's actually diving in to your fridge, freezer, and pantry for spring, cleaning it all out. What does that look like? And what should you stock up on? So it's a fun presentation if anybody would like to have that at their work site.
That's really, really cool. So by cleaning it up, that keeps from germs and people getting sick and properly food that might be expired or certain things like that, right?
Expired, keeping things in proper containers, and then also what should you actually stock up on? So, how do you have whole grain flour and whole grain crackers, beans, having canned tomatoes? Like, what are some things that you should have always in your pantry so you can throw together meals pretty easily?
Awesome. Okay. So that's one big news. And you said also you got Kelly's Choice is just rolling, helping other businesses, right?
Yeah. I mean, we just truly feel a shift. 2025 is our year as dietitians. People realize the connection between mental health and nutrition. They realize how much the dietitians are necessary for productivity in the work site. So our transformation program is now in about 15 different companies. That's a 12-step program. So every single week, the employees will have access to a registered dietitian and all of the information that we have available.
That's fabulous. And the thing that you're hearing, why are more companies focusing more on health? This is something I think that's happening because I'll tell you, I think it's because lifespan, people are living longer and they're working longer too. They're not retiring anymore. They're staying. So you got to, and the bottom line for a company is keeping your employees healthy so you don't pay as much on healthcare.
Yeah, longevity is definitely a big impact right now. People talking about longevity and how to live longer, healthier is a big piece. But yeah, you are right about the insurance claims. A lot of people, 1 in 3 Americans, is suffering with some form of chronic disease, and around 80 to 90% of those chronic diseases are preventable and reversible through nutrition education. So when we're talking about lowering healthcare costs, we need dietitians to be implemented into the work site to get that education to people.
Definitely. And when you do have that, it's awesome. Because I mean, it's needed because what I've learned from you so far really makes me think now. I'm like, okay, I like having this apple. Should I really have Kelly's thinking me if I have this piece of candy right now? That's happening to me now. And it's because if you want to be healthy, you got to eat healthy and you can't just go and reinvent your own diet. A dietitian, a registered dietitian is such more trained and knows how to work with that patient way differently than somebody who's just pitching the next diet fad.
I think that's a great point. So I just left our superintendent's office. We just got our nonprofit kicked off, Nutrition Education for All, and we're talking to the superintendent about adding in healthier foods. There always should be a choice. There's always going to be a choice. But when you add in healthier foods and then you give the education to the staff and to the students, and it could be the work site, you're more likely to make that healthier choice because you understand why you're making that healthier choice.
And understanding why is such a big factor. And if the teachers and the administrators start to live that way, the students should follow.
Yeah, and they will. But again, there's a lack of education. Nutrition has been missing for decades. We're not talking about it in school. We're not talking about it even in health class. I just recently volunteered in my old health class room, and the teacher let me know that nutrition is not a component, it's not a part of the curriculum for health class, eighth grade health class. So it's really interesting of how we've kind of just missed this education, and it's now time to push it back in.
Push it back in and let's go.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. And then you talked about kicking off the foundation. Oh my. And I really loved your conversation we had with Randy that people can definitely go check out on the podcast from Feldcare, and the fact that you're partnering with certain people to see these opportunities work their way through, especially with people that cannot get a dietitian into their health plan.
Yes, I love that you brought that up. So that recent conversation was about a nationwide plan that was serving Medicare participants. And now that we have the ability to do telehealth, we can truly serve these people. Doesn't matter if it's California, Texas, Florida, our dietitians are nationwide, and we truly can give people the education through telehealth. So we are lucky. I mean, COVID was crazy, right? It was not a good thing, but it did turn out to be somewhat good that we have telehealth and we have the ability to reach people.
And because only dietitians on certain health plans, especially you talked about Medicaid not having it, but other health plans do not cover a dietitian. And that's so important if we want people to become more healthy and not as many insurance claims. I think that the health insurance companies, the life insurance companies, they all need to talk to you, Kelly.
I know. That's something funny too. When we talk about life insurance, people need to have a certain cholesterol, blood pressure to qualify for those life insurance plans. So if you're thinking about getting a life insurance plan, make sure to reach out to registered dietitian at Kelly's Choice because we can help get down those numbers in just a short 3 months, just 12 weeks, and you can truly see a reduction in those high cholesterol and blood pressure.
Blood pressure is the hardest, especially if you're a busy person. That mine fluctuates. So that's
So
where my health plan, I'll make sure to see if specifically I can have a dietitian as well, because I think that that's the follow suit. Even if you're going to pay out of pocket a little bit, it's worth it because they're going to at least give you the straights. Sometimes you go to your doctor and they don't give you always the straights. With functional medicine, food is medicine, and having doctors now that are really focusing on health, that's fantastic. But for the ones that don't or don't have the time, because they're seeing so many people, having that time with a dietitian is huge. And to give everyone the opportunity with your foundation's fantastic.
yes, we're really trying right now. We have grants out to be able to fund this nonprofit. So that's where we're at right now of coming up with some fundraisers, putting the grants out there. But both in the way of Medicaid and Medicare, there could be a huge disparity in not having access to registered dietitians.
So are you seeing even on the Medicaid side, people aren't having access to the dietitians as well? It depends on the state, doesn't it?
It depends on the state. That's correct.
Okay. So some states cover it and have a really good Medicaid plan, and some other states do not. Interesting.
Yes.
And that's all we'll say is the interesting.
Yeah.
Other news, any other news that you wanted to
Oh,
report?
there's a lot going on. We just went out to Chicago to the Frontline Workers Convention. It was unbelievable. We were able to talk about nutrition related to mental health. People were blown away of the information that we were able to deliver. We also talked about breakfast and snacks and how to do that and make it easier for the frontline workers. But we had such a great reception out there. It was incredible. I mean, every day we're able to educate and it's so much fun. So just excited for this year and the momentum that we have right now.
The momentum is huge. And I think it's because health is becoming so important to people. I'm hoping that happens with kids, but at least as adults, I think that we're seeing a transformation, especially because the costs of healthcare, as we talked about for sure. And I guess plans for this year, more things coming, right?
I'm flying. I am literally talking, doing webinars, doing in person. I mean, I am just everywhere right now, and it's exciting. I love it. I love educating. So, anyone that wants to book our dietitians for doing webinars in person, one on one counseling, definitely go to kellychoice.org to book the dietitian or go to the contact page as well.
We appreciate it, Kelly, again. And also like and subscribe and share this video out to everyone that you can. And congratulations, continuing to get building out your YouTube channel and the podcast, and people are talking about it and it's important. And we're going to continue those conversations throughout this year. When you go to these other events, we're going to get to meet some amazing people, invite them on the podcast.
I will. I
All
will.
right.
And make sure to also check out our book on Amazon. We're doing book signings all over right now. I just did two this past weekend, one coming up. So the book signings are going fantastic. People are loving it. if you are taking a GLP-1 or thinking about it, you need to buy this book. It's called The New Weight Loss Era, right on Amazon.
All right. Thanks, Kelly.